This is Will with Spiritual Clarity. Today we're talking about the beginning of a subject that I've been fascinated with for at least 3 years, if not 4. It's called Brund, steple, Angst, and I'm probably pronouncing that terribly wrong, but it loosely translates to fear of the pyre, fear of the fire. And it comes from past lives, and that we're going right down the rabbit hole on this one. So if you're one of my clients that's more, corporate, this might sound like gobbledygook. But if you're any of my healers, then this will be right up your alley. So fear of the fire is in a past life, especially women, but also a lot of men, were burned at the stake, drowned, or at least exiled from their homes because they were too weird. They were too woo-woo. If they tried to do any healing of their own kind with herbs or energy or intention, or even more, direct medicine, sometimes even just like dressing a wound was considered witchy. If you used any herbs instead of just if you used any poultice of any kind, it was considered witchy because you're trying to take the healing power out of God's hands into your own hands, and that was blasphemy according to the church for a long, long time. So many of us hold that in our DNA. And there are many layers to this. So I'm not going to go too far down the science rabbit hole because it's not my area of expertise. I do know a little bit about it, though, that they've shown in some ways that we do carry DNA of our ancestors. The kids of those that were in the concentration camps in the Second World War have different DNA markers. Those with parents or grandparents that have been through a great, either a Great Depression or great, what's it called? Where you have no food, words, with a drought. They have very different DNA markers. They hold on to, they're different. And forgive me, I'm not going to quote any studies in this. That's not my deal. So there's that. If we take it a layer or a level deeper and say that we hold DNA, that our DNA is influenced from past lives, going back many generations, which I don't think science has shown anything about that yet, but I think it will. We spiritualists know that it does. Then we can say, or we can speculate that 10 generations ago, 30 generations ago still have an impact. Now, I want to be very careful in this video to say, I never use that as a hiding place. I never say, oh, well, because of my past life stuff, I can't make my video to go public right now. Or, oh, I was killed in a past life for speaking out, so I have a hard time with public speaking. No. That's like saying, I'm overweight, so I can't go for a walk. No, that we don't do that. We say, I'm overweight, so walking is difficult right now. My plan to address that is this. So this video is not an excuse, not that I think anyone watching would use it that way, but it's not an excuse to hide out in our past life traumas. It's an opportunity to shift those to move towards what we really want. If you don't actually really want to be more visible, then don't bother. But if you do want to be more visible, then let's go deeper. So Brund, steple, Angst is from the Dutch language. I first heard this term from a client from the Netherlands, and then some clients in the Netherlands know exactly what I'm talking about when I say that. Others they look at me like I'm speaking Swahili. So it's not that it's a Dutch thing. It's just that I love that term. It encapsulates it so perfectly. It's fear of the pyre, fear of the steeple or steple, the wood pile. So if you've got that going on, it could be impacting your visibility, your ease with being more visible. Here we go. Okay. So the belief that being more visible always brings up pain, struggle, or resistance. Ow! Yeah, some of you are really holding on to that. Would you be willing to destroy that at the point of creation? Ooh. And here's a big one. The belief that because you are spiritual, empathic, different, you will always be met with resistance when you come out of the closet or try to be more public or visible. Ow! Who did you get that from? Whose story is that? Whose belief is that? Who did you buy that from? Might be a well-meaning teacher or a mentor because they had a lot of challenges with it. Might be family member, it might be whoever it is. Would you be willing to return that to sender with love and consciousness attached? Whew. So what I see happening far too often with my spiritual clients, my healers or my spiritual coaches, even therapists that have a spiritual focus, is that they've been through these challenges and now they wear it like a badge, and it becomes part of their identity. Oh, I'm spiritual, therefore fill in the blank. I'm weird and woo woo. I'm empathic, therefore I take on other people's stuff. Well, being empathic means you're aware of other people's stuff. It doesn't mean you are at the mercy of their stuff. It doesn't mean you have no option but to take on their crap. It just means you're aware of their stuff. It doesn't mean you are forever destined to take on their crap. You can learn tools and processes and practices. You can shift the beliefs such that you just never take it on. I know, it's crazy. If it's the first time you've heard me say this, it can seem like a crazy thing. You have a choice. Now, if you've been living as an empath for so long, it could feel like you don't have a choice. You could have a lot of evidence to say that you don't. And I'm just suggesting that you do, and there are things you can do to shift that. The same as having all these things from past lives. There are things that you can do, beliefs that you can shift to shift that energy, to change that energy. So, the belief that because you've had these traumas in a past life, being visible or public will always be a challenge, or just more challenging for you than someone else. Ow! Would you be willing to destroy that? At the point of creation. Whoa! Now we're cooking. There was another belief that I wanted to get to, but that needed to be done first. Let's see if my brain can bring it back around. Oh, another thing that I see all the time is that healers, and it's similar but a little different. I hope you're enjoying the wind. I hope it's not too loud on the mic. That healers and spiritual people use past life stuff as a place to hide, to actively hide. It's gone beyond an excuse or a story that they're just aware of. It's become an active thing, kind of like, I'm a mom, so I never come first, and it just becomes this water that you swim in. And I use that example because I've had a lot of clients who are moms, and they say it like it's a fact of life, that they don't have any space around it. It's not like, oh, well, I'm a mom, so I seem to always come last. No, they say it like it's a fact of life, like it's gravity. I'm a mom, so I always come last. Gravity exists, that's why if I jump up, I come back down. It's just a fact. So in the same way, I have a lot of clients who say, well, I was a healer in a past life, and I was killed for it, so making videos scares the crap out of me. It's just a direct line. So all the way... Ow! All the ways you've cross-wired, how do we want to say that? All the ways you've cross-wired causality, is that what it is in science? Causality with causation. I might be getting the words wrong there, but I'll backstep in a sec. Would you be willing to destroy that at the point of creation? Whoa! That might be a new process we use. So what I mean by that is something could happen and you could say, oh, I think that has an impact on this, instead of this happened, therefore this is true. It's like saying, I drank my tea and I burnt my tongue, so all liquid in cups will burn my tongue. That would be, I think they call it causation. And all the scientists who are watching this, please forgive me. Whereas I think causality means that you drink the tea, it burns your tongue, and you say, oh, there's a possibility that liquids in cups might burn my tongue. Let's do more experiments to find out. So all the ways that you've cross-wired those two things when it comes to past lives and the damage that's been done in past lives, would you be willing to destroy that at the point of creation? Okay, so this has been Brund, steple, Angst Part 1. I hope that there will be a Part 2 and maybe even 3 to follow, but I'm hoping that this will help to shift some of the energy for you around the impact the past lives have for you as a healer in this current life, so that you can be more visible, you can be more you can put yourself out there in the way that feels good and feels easy and joyful. Have an amazing day. And I'll see you soon. Bye bye for now.